Hey guys, Marble Tyler here, and I want to talk a little bit about PlayStation 5 and the next Xbox, because I don't want to say Xbox 2 or something like that, because who knows what they're going to call it. Now, I don't think they should be coming out this year. If they announce it this year, cool, but I do not want these next-gen consoles in 2018, and let me explain why. So first of all, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One launched back in 2013. Now, the Xbox 360 and the PS3 generations were 8 and 7 years respectively. That's a long time. I'm aware of that. And I'm aware that that was the longest generation ever. I don't think, 8 years needs to be the generation standard. I think that's absurd. We're falling way behind in terms of hardware, in terms of potential for games and everything else. Obviously, we can't keep up right now. I don't think we need, an 8-year long generation gap. That's just kind of dumb. Now, I do think we should be getting the next generation in 2019. And again, here's why. So first of all, in terms of Xbox, the Xbox One X just came out last year. That was 2017. So if you're telling me that I bought an Xbox One X, which I love, by all means, I love the Xbox One X. It works great with my 4K TV. If you're telling me I bought that, and then the next generation of Xbox, which is also going to run 4K because it'll probably be more powerful anyways, is coming out the year after, I mean, that's just kind of a middle finger from Microsoft, if I do say so. I mean, it's kind of like you're undermining what just happened. And obviously for PlayStation fans, the PS4 Pro came out the year before that. It's not as bad as only, having your console 1 year, but the point still stands. We just bought these things. Don't rip it away from us so soon. Now, another reason, Nvidia is kind of releasing their next set of graphics cards and their card technology. So, obviously, in terms of this summer, if I'm going to spend some money on some gaming, and it's our PlayStation 5 or the Xbox 2, or, I'm going to build a PC with NVIDIA's new technology. I mean, that's just more competition. And I know console market and PC market's just a little bit different. Obviously, there's a huge price difference. But the point still stands is, why not wait for this technology to be implemented more and then maybe implement it into the next gen? I'm not going to go off on that tangent because that's just a lot of stuff that I don't really know as much about. That being said, what about the exclusives? So PlayStation 4 has a ton of exclusives coming out this year. They have Detroit Become Human, The Last of Us 2. Don't mention the games coming out between Red Dead 2. All kinds of stuff. I'm not going to list them all right now. God of War comes out this year. Spider-Man PS4. All kinds of great games. So unless you're going to make all of those, PlayStation 5 games or PlayStation 5 backwards compatible, we've seen with the PS4, look how that went. Unless you're going to make it backwards compatible, that just kind of undermines all those games. Like, you can buy all these games, but we have a next-gen console coming out, and it's going to run games better. It's like, why would you do that to your own system? You're competing with yourself. And here's another reason why maybe next year is a better option. VR. VR right now is really trying to find its place in, today's society with all the technology between phones, between the PlayStation VR, HTC Vive Pro just came out. We're still trying to figure out where this really stands in the gaming market. Obviously, last year, towards the end, we had, Skyrim VR and Fallout VR. And all that stuff's great, but it's kind of slowed down quite a bit. We're trying to see, what companies dive in. We know Microsoft's working on stuff. We know PlayStation's working on stuff. Maybe let's develop those a little bit further, make them more of a standard, more affordable, and more convenient, and more integrated to the software and the hardware. And so that way, next year you release it, we have more titles, we have, better availability, better affordability, and we just allow it to be a mainstay. And then let's make 4K more of an opportunity for common people. So 4K is becoming, not standard by any means, but 4K is becoming pretty common. Let's maybe wait a year, so that way next year, 4K obviously will be much more common, TVs will be cheaper, and you could probably sell TVs, especially from Sony's perspective. Imagine launching some cheaper, available, and some other high-end 4K TVs with the PlayStation 5. I mean, that's just a great strategy, great marketing. So obviously, this is just my speculation. This is just a lot of random stuff. This is just some points that I just don't want PlayStation 5 and Xbox One 2. I don't even know. That doesn't make sense, but that's 12. I don't understand myself sometimes. Regardless, I just don't want them this year. I think it's way too soon. Now, I do want a hardware upgrade, and we got that with the Xbox One X. Perfect. Obviously, that's still limited by the original Xbox One. Same thing with the PlayStation 4 Pro. because the games have to be compatible with both. I do want the hardware upgrade, but I think next year is just the smarter and better option for both companies. I just want the current generation to last. Maybe next year, maybe you announce it this year, and then next year you have developers that have built games for it. Amazing launch titles, great competition. I just prefer 2019 in general. But yeah, guys, just let me know what you thought. I mean, put it in the comments. Go ahead and let me know. Do you want it this year? Do you want it sooner? Would you rather this generation never end? Would you rather that they just change the console market in general? I will be talking about that in a separate video because I do have an idea of something that could get away from console generations and keep us more standard and more up to date. But that's for a separate time, guys. Check back to STG. We do all kinds of gaming. We have top 10 Sundays. We have eventually some throwback Thursdays. I'll see you in the game.